Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? All right. I think you guys can do better than that. We had an awesome party last night, right? Everybody feeling okay? I heard Amir was handing out drink tickets like they were going out of style. So let's give a round of applause for the party last night. Well, it's a standing room only, so let your friends know there's now a cover to come into this room. But I think it'll all be worth it. So my name is Matt Francina, the Executive Financial Advisor at Present Financial Partners, and I'm so happy this morning to get an opportunity to just introduce a great friend of mine for probably will be one of the most impactful meetings you attend at this Gamma conference. And for me, this is my first time here at Gamma, or at LAMP, and it's been an awesome experience so far. So thank you to everybody who's just willing to share and give things away. And this morning, I want to talk a little bit about how I met Sina, right? I remember it like it was yesterday. It was this like frigid, cold day. I think it was 69 degrees. You got to remember, we're from Southern California, so it was tough. It embedded in me this memory. And I came in and I met Sina. I was invited by a friend. I came for an interview. It looked kind of like this room when I got there, but I was there for an interview. And some of you know what that's like. And so I meet this guy, we interview, and I get the opportunity, but the reason that I look back now and I remember it so well is because that moment changed my life, because I got the opportunity to begin to work with someone who lived by the rule that if you help other people achieve what they want, that you by default will get what you're looking to get. And the reason that's so important is because today you're going to have an opportunity to hear from someone who genuinely cares and genuinely wants to share with you the tools, the tricks, the tips, and the things that have caused him to ignite and our firm to be growing at the pace that it has been, and at full transparency to share with you. So in good meeting style, if you don't have notes, I recommend you get something that looks like you're taking them, because Sina will call you out later for not taking notes at a meeting. And it's just going to be an awesome time. So would everybody just join me in welcoming the founder of the Millennial Leadership Network, the chairman and head of the board of directors of the All Mindset Disrupt Tour that's up and coming, and the vice president of Present Financial Partners, Sina Azari.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it. Wow. This being a social media forum, it makes sense for us to kick it off with a selfie. So if you guys would kindly entertain me, actually I'll take the picture from up here. If you guys want to sort of fill up the middle of the room, and as many of you guys that want to be recognized, our goal is to go viral. We're big on recruiting through social media, so this is going to be a recruiting post. And if you guys want to feed off it, you're more than welcome to, okay? You guys ready? All right. So let's see where we're at. Let's see as many people as we can get. All right, so. You guys smile. One more, hands up. You guys awake? Looks good. That one was awesome. Awesome. Cool. All right, thank you. So I like to walk a lot. Let me get off the stage. You guys can still see me. You're more than welcome to come in. I see a lot of people in the hallway. This was supposed to be on the main stage, but I got bumped off. It's all right. Apparently they felt social media wasn't relevant, and that'll change one day when LAMP is conducted virtually. Mark my words. Mark my words. So you're going to see it go down in real fashion. Just to give you a brief introduction of myself, this is titled Attracting Millennial Talent Through Social Media. It's going to be very clear cut. I'm going to be speaking on basic strategies that you can apply immediately. I apologize for walking across this, but I'm just used to that. And you're more than welcome to ask me any questions after, and I'll answer them all to the way that we roll it out in our firm. And I'll tell you about statistics of who we are and how we do what we do. Just a brief introduction on myself. I graduated from San Francisco State University. I'm from the Bay Area. My background is physiology. So I didn't grow a sales guy or a recruiter. I went to school learning all about chemistry, biology, molecular biology, a lot of labs. Some fairly boring material to most people, but fascinating to few. I joined the business right after I graduated with my degree in physiology. I became a CLTC, Certified Long-Term Care, CSA, joined Boston University for some financial planning courses. I became a Tony Robbins strategic coach because I know coaching is very important when it comes to influencing others. I'm currently enrolled in the American College for my CLU. And in 2017, I became a California broker for the BRE, the Bureau of Real Estate. And I'll tell you why that's relevant. I have a very good feeling that financial services, real estate is part of it. So if you're doing full financial planning, investments in real estate goes hand in hand with what we do. As far as my professional background, started with Bankers Life and Casualty. I was recruited to this great organization. We have many bankers, agents, and managers, actually managers here at this conference. I actually want to thank the Bankers Life family, specifically those of you that are here, and Mr. Kareem Abdul Hassan. Where's Kareem? Kareem, my coach, who helped me go through this speech piece, spent a lot of time with me. Thank you. Travis from Pacific Advisors. Travis, Mr. Hart, thank you so much, Travis. 2007, I became a branch sales manager, which became all about recruiting. We're all leaders in this operation or in this room, so we know that recruiting is the answer. And in 2007, I started to really focus on building stronger teams. And branch sales manager, for those of you that don't know what bankers is, you have mid-level managers, like unit managers, field trainers reporting to them. From branch sales manager, I was promoted to associate regional director, which I helped other branches grow, other branch managers. Until 2016, I joined a startup named Present Financial Partners. Present Financial Partners started in July of 2016 with 3 agents. We're not a mega agency. When I left Bankers, I had maybe about just under 200 agents reporting to me, about 6 to 8 offices, with my partner Farshad Asal, who's in the back of the room. You guys will get a chance to hear him speak on Wednesday. But Present Financial had 3 agents in July of 2016. That's how the operation started. So I know most of us in here have a lot more than 3 agents, but hopefully many of us started with a small unit, right? Can you relate to that? Yep. Cool. And then there's some of us in here that probably have a 2, 3, 4, 5,000 downline. We're not there yet. We're just under 40 agents. I apologize on my voice. I was one of those that was partying last night at the lot. Who was at the lot party, by the way? Wow, you guys are all pretty smart. So I noticed there's no familiar faces from last night, and everyone played me. Because they all said, as they were buying me drinks, they're like, I'm going to see you tomorrow at your speech. So they all lied. But right now, we're just under 40 agents. We have 3 offices, 1 in Carlsbad. Our headquarters is in Orange County, and a 3rd scratch office that just started in San Francisco. So that's a little bit about my background. These bottom icons here, they're relevant to this session. These are my handles. What I recommend is you're more than welcome to use your phones during this session. It's not one that you turn them off and put them away. This is social media. If you guys want to connect with me, you're more than welcome to copy and duplicate what I do. You could mimic it to apply it to your organization. And other than that, let's connect and let's network. Because I have a lot of agents that reach out to me in parts of the United States, very few internationally, that I just can't help yet because we don't have operations there. So if I could help them or help you help them, I'd be more than happy to. This is my Instagram, CEO accredited. My Twitter, CEO accredited. And then Facebook is I am Azari, because Sina Azari was taken by somebody. I have no idea who and how. These terms, CEO accredited, I came up with this handle years ago when Instagram and Twitter first came out. And I'm not a CEO of our organization, but I believe we are all CEOs of our own lives, right? So when I found that opportunity, that was my goal, to be able to dictate and control my future. So right here, we all know what a map of what this is, right? Good. There's 323 million people in the United States. 323 million. And approximately 75 million of them are baby boomers. And I don't want to ask how many baby boomers are in here, but the baby boomers, they are the last greatest generation, essentially, to have fulfilled the American dream. By a show of hands, how many people are planning to retire within the next 10 to 15 years? Can you get a shot of this? if you look behind you, but almost everyone's hands went up, most hands. That's important because with the average advisor being in their late 50s, we've approached the largest generation to retire in the history of our industry. This is a big problem. Millennials overtake baby boomers as America's largest generation. This is a great picture right now if you want to start recruiting millennials. Right now, this is going to show it right here. Because as you talk to millennials, let me get out of the way, or you want to get me in there. If you take a picture with me, tag me so I can share it. Let's make it go viral. Let's really blow this industry up together. One person can't do it. It takes an army. It doesn't matter what company you're from. Let's help as many people as we can. And I'll tell you why this is important. So what does this mean to you? Millennials overtaking baby boomers. Why is this important? Do you see opportunity? Who will continue serving this large wave of retirees? You guys, come on in. I don't want anyone to miss this. So millennials being the largest unemployed generation to date, I see tremendous opportunity. As industry leaders, we have a responsibility to fulfill this gap, and my goal by the end of this presentation is to make sure that everyone has a few takeaways, bridging you closer to the most creative and influential generation. So what you're going to learn? You're going to learn few characteristics describing millennials. Let me just update this. You're going to go through proven methods to engage with this generation, and using social media strategy or social media approach, I'm going to share some strategies and methods of recruiting with this generation. So, different strokes for different folks. Anyone remember different strokes? Yeah? Well, millennials have no idea what show that is. So I just want to make sure you guys are relating to the people we're trying to recruit. Let me tell you why it's significant to understand this. Okay? I'm in the sweet spot. I'm the oldest of the millennials. But what's important is, right now, the problem with our industry is most of us are competing trying to recruit our own agents. We're spending time to bring people that have experience working for a firm and then trying to pull them away from another firm, our own industry, and then bring them into our operations. Where we got the largest pool out here that has no idea what our business is about, and we're neglecting them. So instead of trying to compete with each other, Renee said it yesterday, it's better to create than to compete. And social media is all about creating. So every day when we go to our firm and what we do, we don't even feel like we're competing with anyone in this room. That's why it feels so great to share some of our strategies. Per the U.S. Census, 92 million millennials were born 1979 to 2000. We're digital natives. Sorry for my voice. We grew up on the internet with laptops, cell phones. We're known as the app or share generation. Driving the growth in Uber, like sharing cars, or Airbnb, sharing homes, workspace. Workspace now, you can go and share workstations, right? Everyone familiar with that? That's growing everywhere. So this millennial generation is very influential. And believe me, all of these things that I just mentioned to you, Airbnb, workspace, Uber, if social media wasn't there, neither would those operations. You agree with me? If you agree with me, understand that social media is going to directly impact and drive our industry. And if you're not, come on in, guys. I don't want anyone to miss any of this. Come on in. Use this middle hallway if you need to. It's okay. So, I said the main stage. You guys aren't listening. People aren't listening. So, the U.S. Bureau of Labor predicts that millennials are going to make up approximately 75% of the workforce by 2025. So 3 of 4 people being our future sales force, millennials demand your attention. Let me go through some characteristics of millennial candidates. You know, there's all these terms. Millennials are lazy. I'm a millennial. We're not lazy. We aspire. The problem is we don't have the same upbringing as an older generation, so things are different. But 2 of 3 millennials see themselves in a mid or senior management role within the next 10 years. with about almost 70% believing that office attendance is unnecessary on a regular basis. So those of us that are trying to run mandatory office days, 2-3 days, come here, do that, that worked for the previous generation. Start to adapt to the people you're trying to recruit. Don't try to make them fit what you're trying to build. Because their generation, or our generation, is larger than what it was that you built in the past. So you got to adapt to them. And I apologize, I'm trying to speak over this guy who's going crazy in this room. We probably should have just joined them. We're innovators. 78% of millennials are strongly influenced by how innovative a company is when deciding if we want to work there. What we want is an environment that encourages creative problem solving. Nothing is worse than a bored millennial. This is important because your online content shows how creative you are in attracting them. And when I refer to online content, I'm not just speaking about your organization. I'm referring specifically to you. You yourself have an opportunity now to be your own brand with the backing of your company. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. We spoke briefly yesterday about identity. And I want to share with you, if it wasn't for this moment of time with social media and technology, I probably would have had a lot of challenges leaving my shop that I was with because it was a great company. But I spent 15 years with the company that I was with before. And after so many years, I can relate to many people in this that you might feel your identity is the company that you've been with for all those years. And sometimes we're like, well, what do we do if we're no longer with that organization? Right now and for the future, social media is allowing you to create your own brand and your own direction of influence. And the company that you represent or work for is your backing. It's never been like that before. So we're innovators. We're benevolent. About 84% say that helping and making a positive difference in the world is more significant than making more income. So some people ask questions about how do you attract millennials when it's a commission-based industry. The reason we have that challenge in front of us is because we're used to that challenge for the previous generations. Someone want to turn their mic down? Yeah, my voice is shot. But millennials are all about purpose over paychecks. So make sure that whatever it is, your culture or your message that you're trying to drive, other than making a lot of money, showing paychecks, showing bonuses, showing gas cards, it's not about that to the millennial generation. It's about gathering the team, influencing your community, pulling together, working with other companies similar to this. And that's what our industry is lacking. That's why we're having trouble attracting this generation, because as the millennials walk in, they're always attracted to this culture to where our company's the best. We do this, they don't do that. Well, let me share with you, millennials have so much more access than before to where they know what's right and what's not. And they're going to go do their due diligence if they haven't done it already. So we're a very benevolent group of people. You know, when I say purpose over paychecks, I always believe that one thing is we're here for the mission, not the recognition. We're expressive. 71% engage in social media daily. Daily. You know, there's a stat that's 3 years old that says that people spend an average of 7 hours on social media per week. That's old. I think that millennials spend an average of 3 hours per day. By a raise of hands, how many people check their social media feeds today? If you haven't looked behind, keep those hands up and look behind you. Almost everyone's hands went up. So let me share with you, and there's a broad age group in here, but if everyone has checked their social medias today and it's just after 8 a.m., then where are your recruits? That's where they are. But we're still spending money and time doing Craigslist ads, Monster, Indeed, all these other great outfits that want to charge you $5,000 for resumes. You know where a millennial's resume is? Their social media handles, their social media feeds. And by the way, in this room, you're going to have some other photographers. They got a white R on their shirt, Robert Courtney Collins and Associates. I've asked them to be here to document this for me, so please smile for the cameras. But I want to share with you that it's more relevant today for you to attract somebody that has a backing and understanding of social media strategy than it does with someone who has a master's, PhD, X amount of years of sales. Because when you can engrave and learn how to brand and strategize on social media, and you got this whole room logging into social media before we start our day, then those are the people that are going to get you in front of clients. Those are the people that are what we call influencers. It's no longer about a Project 200 or a Memory Jogger 50. We got Project 10,000. We got Project 10,000, and with one send, 10,000 people learn what that person did when they start with us. You try to do that by picking up the phone and calling people, and then trying to resell the phones to your agents every day and tell them, no, this is how we do it. That's how we did it. That's how we did it. And things are different. I'm going to share with you some crazy stuff that you don't believe what we do, but we do it. So we're tech revolutionaries. 4 in 5 millennials own a smartphone. Does anybody not own a smartphone in here? Okay, so everyone does. Good, we're all on the same page. This is the largest cultural shift ever to have hit the human race since the print press. Millennials don't even know what a print press is. Flyers are dead. Paper print's dead. We're almost like a paperless office. We're a wireless office. Everything's Bluetooth. Everything. I mean, you walk into our office, you think you walked into Google. And I'll share with you some pictures. Nothing that controls the attention of millennial recruits existed just under a decade ago. And I'm not referring specifically to Facebook or Instagram. I'm talking about the progression of the internet itself. The internet has transpired to becoming more of the middleman. What I mean is that things aren't changing. They've already changed. There's no way you're going to be an organization that grows and grabs attention if you don't understand how to effectively attract and communicate your brand through social media. We're living in a fascinating time, and the stakes are high. You know what your ROI is on social media? Your ROI is that you're going to be in business in the next 7 to 10 years. This is how serious and significant this is. So to the business and unit leaders that think that this is all about posting pictures of your food, your friends, your parties, you got it all twisted. That's how it started. But it's the greatest business tool and asset that we use every single day for prospecting and recruiting. First, actually, just to share with you some proven ways to engage millennials, to learn about your organization. First, you want to show more and pay less. Show more and pay less. I used to shop at Payless, by the way. That's why I said that. Show more and say less. So when you know I say pay less, you know my roots. My first tennis shoes were called XJ 900s. Some people know what those are. I can afford XJ 1000s. So show more and say less. For example, Starbucks, Lululemon, Nordstrom. They don't even have a tagline and are some of the strongest brands attracting millennials. You got to encourage in numbers. What do I mean by encourage in numbers? We're about to ride one of the greatest roller coasters, and most of us aren't even standing in the right line. And I'll explain more about that in just a minute. And last, it's all about viral recognition. And again, those of you that just came in, these are my social media handles. Make sure to connect with me on any of these platforms. I will share your content, help you grow, direct message me, and let's provide value to one another. So it's all about going viral. We're going through one of the greatest fundamental human shifts. For example, we all agree that it's sad and staggering that when we go out, most of us, instead of congregating, talking to each other, we're sitting there on our phones, right? Yeah. It's amazing. Like you go to a dinner table. The other day I was there with my wife, we went to dinner, and I saw a family there. They brought 2 iPads. They plugged the headsets into the iPads and put the headsets on their kids. And they were on the iPads, and the husband and wife was eating dinner. And I told my wife, I said, that's crazy. Like, my mom would have hit me over the head if I was watching TV eating dinner as a kid. Right? But this is how they're growing up. And these are like kids. So things have changed, but we're completely controlled by this device, whether you like it or not. And this is what social experts are calling disruption. And we're hearing this term all the time. The most recent Gamma journal said innovation on top or in the middle. Then there was a great article that I think Mr. Holt, is Adam in here? He was at that lot party. He's speaking? That's him right there then. So he actually talked about technology and disruption. So that's why I was going to appreciate his piece. But my greatest takeaway from this observation is how many leaders are making the wrong business decision because of their personal view on social media. And I used to be amongst those people. Specifically, my Instagram is 6 months new. Instagram. The other ones I had for communication, but this is where everyone's flocking to. And most of us aren't in here. By a show of hands, how many people don't have Instagram? Awesome. How many people will have Instagram after today? Cool. I'm going to share with you, one, how to download it quickly at the end of this presentation. Secondly, you're going to have more followers than most people who've started one 3, 4, 5 months ago. Why? Because you have the support of over 100 people in this room, and you have the support of our organization. And I'll share with you how we spread that amongst each other. So what do I mean by show more and say less? We're living through a great divide between headline readers and practitioners. The internet is such a harder, more complicated place to navigate today, and what our recruiting team focuses on is attention. It's all about attention. So the philosophy behind this science is simple. Before I can tell you how great a career is or an opportunity is, I need your attention, right? And I appreciate that I got everyone's attention here. So words are cheap. You got to use more visuals. And coming to social media strategy, just to give you a heads up, it works both ways. What I mean by that is if you throw a whole bunch of random pictures on there, it's going to hurt you. So you got to really spend time and invest what it is you want your organization, your team to look like to the millennial that has no idea who you are. And when they go through these feeds, what they see, what they take away from is the message you're giving them. So a lot of us, I know we get excited and we just start throwing all these pictures up there. And sometimes these pictures, they're going to hurt you if they're blurry, if they make no sense with what your message is, just because you want to have a feed. I mean, no disrespect, on this lamp feed, there's like 80% great stuff, but there's 20% that I have no idea why it's even on there. But it's exciting to just post something up. So it's good to do that on a personal basis, but for business, you want to give the right message. And nothing's wrong with having multiple accounts. Have a personal private one. But if you're private and you're trying to recruit on social media, no one knows you. So you got to have a public account if you want to recruit on social media. The great thing is that Instagram doesn't charge you for your second account. They don't even charge you for your third one. You know when they do charge you? They haven't yet. They're all free, but they're going to. They're going to. This is virtual real estate. We're going through a quick time of change, and you'll see right now what we have in our at the access and reach of our fingertips that's free is going to cost us money. They just started introducing this to us for us to get comfortable once they do. So show more and say less. You can tell a story 3 times faster with visuals. You can use programs like Adobe, Flash Photography, PixoChart. These are free, downloadable apps that you could use that cost you nothing, that you put a picture in there and you can modify the picture. You can put a sentence. You can put a statement. You can put a hashtag. Costs you nothing. And those of you that want to give this up to someone else, go ahead and do it. You know, you've earned the ranks. You have the pocket bank and the support. You just pay someone else to do it. Go ahead and do it. But let me just share with you that if they don't own the results, they're not going to have the same passion that someone like I do or someone like you will. So before you just get excited and just go and say, hey, we're going to pay our marketing department to do this, let me tell you that they should have already been doing it if you want to invest in that team. So if they're not, you need a new marketing team. And you should be that person. You should build that brand. People want to come work with you. Your team that's going to work every single day, that's fighting the fire. Who said it? We get punched in the face. Yesterday someone said that. We get kicked in the face. You guys heard that? Iselfi. If you guys went to the Taylor method, Iselfi said, our business is like every single day we get kicked in the face. The reason why our agents are willing to wake up and go grind every day and our managers to get kicked in the face is because of the loyalty and dedication to you, not to the marketing team. So this is your opportunity to brand yourself. This is our team right here. After, 6 to 9 months being in the organization, this is our meeting. So those of you that conduct meetings and say, put away your cell phones, put away your laptops, you're operating in the 90s. Maybe I should say in the 80s. If you come to our meeting without your cell phone and your laptop, you're in the wrong meeting. Not here in our office. So we get our team involved in social media. People are still conducting phone days. We got social media days. And it's crazy because what I share with you, so many people aren't doing it, but in like 3 months to 2 years, everyone's going to be there. So I'm excited for this wave and to be a trailblazer of it. We're very blessed. But we got the team's buy-in. I just see this picture because it was such a long time ago and the power behind it, but we're literally strategizing post. We're talking about, and we're all putting it together and we'll share with each other and we'll pick 3 to 5 of them and we'll blast it. We'll blast it as a team. And when you blast it as a team like we're going to do together here, I'm big on this term, let's win as an industry. And when we do it, come on in, you guys. Come on in. I want you to take away from this, please. But when I say, let's do this as a team, this is what I mean by encouraging numbers. No matter how good of an influencer you are as one person, if your reach doesn't expand as quick as it can with 5, 6, 7 people, it's not going to be as influential. By a show of hands, how many people heard of Present Financial Partners before? I love it. Not many. That's cool. Well, here we are. So one of the greatest ways to conduct social awareness is around social campaigns. In case some of you are wondering, what type of posts do we put up? How do we start? You know, do we just show our team that just maybe had like a great week? I think that's something to introduce after someone knows more about your company versus the first piece. You got 5, 6, 7 successful agents. Anyone who's going to join an organization, especially millennials, they're assuming they're joining a winning team already. So if you got to exemplify that, then the assumption is you might be faking it. So start with something around a social campaign. For example, anyone remember the plank challenge? Some people? Better yet, how about the ice bucket challenge? We all remember that? The ice bucket challenge would not have been a challenge if it wasn't for social media. Imagine in the 80s, how many people would have thrown ice buckets on their head? If you would have done that and you were someone's neighbor, the police would have come arrested you. But now, everybody did it. We just did it for, I actually remember at my former company, my vice president, great man, I wish he was here today to give him some credit, but we went out on we had a promo that week during the Ice Bucket Challenge. We were in Las Vegas, and we went out to the Strip, Las Vegas Strip, and he said, you know what, let's do this Ice Bucket Challenge on the Strip. And I was like, awesome. We threw the bucket on him. We shared it. Not only was it big for the Lou Gehrig's, right, or ALS Association, but everyone in Las Vegas got a glimpse of it. So it even went more viral. Millennials are social in nature and most love to document their lives. We love to document our lives. So give them the access to do so. And that's what we're missing. I recognize in a lot of shops, and we get a lot of millennials that come in who might have just been recruited or introduced to the industry by another company. So someone else did all the hard work, pushed them through the licensing, then bring them in. And then they're like, you know what? I couldn't freely use my phone while I was there and video myself and put a quick blast to my friends. While I was making phone calls, that wasn't going well. Or maybe while I had a really bad day. Or better yet, when I went in the field and got porched and no one answered the door. You know how exciting it is to go to someone's house and you're excited as a new agent, knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and they're not home? You know how exciting that is? Not exciting at all. But when you get a chance to document it and say, man, this is just what we do, this is part of the grind. And then you share it to all your friends. Guess what happens? All their friends say, what do you do? Why are you going to someone's house who's not there? And they're like, well, they're not always not there. Guess what happens? Then they start talking about it. Right. But it's different. It's different than going, oh, I got porched again. But you got porched. Did we see it? Did you share it? And we rally around that. So there is really no bad message when you get a chance to share what it is that you do. And we got to stop pushing that down. Yeah. Excuse me for my voice again. I apologize. How am I doing, Miriam? Yeah. By the way, guys, my sister's here, Miriam Habashi, and Roya Mohammadi from Banker's Life. She recruited me to this business 15, 16 years ago, Roya, so thank you. And she sponsored my license. So I still not only owe her $300, but to all the managers, no disrespect, but to all the managers building downlines, you got to spend money. And if you guys are the only ones spending money but your team isn't, change that up. I learned the term you can't have alligator arms. We call them dinosaur arms. Our leadership team is encouraged to reach out and pay for that check. Take their teams out to lunch. If you got to invest in someone to get their license, invest in the license. If you're scared to spend $300 for someone to get licensed, but you're trying to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of overrides, what kind of business decision is that? And we got so many people that come in and say, wow, you're going to help us get licensed? Absolutely. If we believe in you, $300, why not? It's a tenth of a sale, right? So, hashtag it up. We create a hashtag to get your team and share it. Then you follow up. You follow up or conduct additional marketing through emails, updates, or sharing of posts. So what do you hashtag? A lot of people don't know what to hashtag, right? And you got to use these hashtags while they're free. I mean, it sounds like it's crazy, but one day you might have to pay based on how many hashtags you want to put up there. And when this does happen, don't just say that he already knew. No, I'm predicting that's the way to make money. So if I ran this system, I'd charge for it. Right now, it's free. So what do you hashtag? Well, I believe in something called the 3 C's. And if you follow any of these social media handles, you'd know what those 3 C's are. But I know most of you don't follow me yet. The 3 C's are culture, creates, content. Culture creates content. If you truly believe in your culture, that's all the content you need. And if you're scared to share your culture, you need to go find a new place to build your business. And the worst part is to front or show a fake culture, and then when someone joins the team, it wasn't what they thought it was to be. That's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you like this guy's vocal cords next door. Our best posts are sharing our culture with those we like to influence and attract. So for example, we use the hashtag #BePresent. Frank, good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us today. There's a seat up front I saved for you. Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Scalise, this gentleman gave me the opportunity to be up here today. Thank you so much, Frank. So you can reinforce, thank you for the 2-3 people that gave him credit for having me up here. Everyone else was like, social media, everyone knows Facebook. What do we want this guy for? So you can reinforce this strategy through recognition by sharing or reposting. For example, giving a shout out to top producers or top teams or offices. You could use all of these. I don't own them. Let's borrow them. Let's use them. So when you hashtag this material, not only will my post and the other 800, 900,000 posts come up, but so will yours. These are all relevant to our business. Legacy. Do we believe in legacy? We live legacy, right? You live legacy. Grateful. You can't be ungrateful and successful at the same time, right? So we're grateful. Hustle hard. You believe in hustling? Do we have to hustle in this business? It's a hustle every day. The millennials appreciate that. The term hustle doesn't mean selling drugs or selling yourself like it used to years ago. The term hustle is recognized and respected for someone who's willing to work hard. So nothing's wrong with hustling hard. Level up. No one wants to level down. Let's level up. Leadership. Agent life. Insurance. Expectations. Gamma. LAMP 2018. Now hiring. 1099 business. Fail forward and all mindset. I believe everything's a mindset, right? I believe everything's a mindset so much that we got this throughout our office, right here. I brought this here just for our selfie picture, but it's all a mindset. And the reason why most of us aren't yet engraved in social media is because we don't have this mindset yet. We haven't bought into it. We're still using our social media to post last night's dinner or our breakfast. I had a croissant egg sandwich. Psh, cool. Awesome. I got 3 agents. Enjoy your breakfast. So learning to leverage social media will help you self-promote and increase cultural visibility. What most don't recognize is that this activity attracts recruits before even meeting them. Before even meeting them. That's powerful. You don't even need to look at a resume. They don't even have to literally go online to your website, to your company's website. They're going to go on social media and type in the name of whoever it was that might have introduced them to the business. Or they're going to go through a hashtag, and in one of the hashtags, guess what happens? Your feed falls in there. People look up a hashtag and they scroll down. So they'll show what you're doing. And you fall into the feed. So we all agree that the recruiting landscape has changed. We agree with that? It's not changing, it's changed. And the behavior of how millennials seek new opportunity has changed. The ability to go from 0 to 50 agents and 50 to 100 agents is so quick today because of how much attention are in these devices. It's amazing. We're not a mass recruiting culture. We could be, but we really have an opportunity right now to recruit quality because the quantity is already there. We don't pay per resume anymore. We don't pay per click. We go online and there's millions of people looking for opportunity. Millions. You know how many? 92 million. Those are the people we're looking for. I'm not looking for anyone's agents in this room. You can have all of them. Let them keep complaining to you that the leads suck. We don't even have leads. We don't even have leads. Our leads are on our phones. Mailing leads are over. I throw every piece of mail away. All my bills are paperless. All my bills are automatic pay and draft. So if I ever get mail, it has to be from the IRS or it's not even relevant. Just being honest with you. There is no piece of mail. No one sends me a birthday card. That's online. The gift cards are emailed to you with a confirmation number. Right? And we're still mailing leads. Amazing. You know what the fastest demographic is growing on Facebook? Baby boomers. The fastest growing demographic on Facebook is baby boomers. So you can use Facebook to attract your prospects. Maybe not to attract your recruits. Come on in, guys. Come on in. I hear you guys back there. Come on in. So I noticed some of you are using your phones while I'm up here. Many of you, which is awesome. And it's cool that you're using it, but it's just another confirmation of how much attention goes into these pieces. It simply reinforces the fact to stop underestimating its value. The only framework that you're going to have success in today's environment is social media strategy. And you don't need to be an expert. All you have to do is you have to be persistent. You have to be persistent. You got to be professional. And again, I want to reinforce, if you're going to do this social media recruiting, do not put a post of you having a great time with your friends on a boat, drinking and partying, and then the post after that shows you at a gala convention celebrating with your team. They're two different messages. And we all want to have fun, but they're two different messages. Look at your social media as your own website when it comes for business, and then look at a separate one for your personal photo album. Don't mix the two together. If you've been doing that and you're not having success recruiting, that's one of the mistakes. So when you go through all the content of the handles that I shared with you, it's all stuff that's relevant for you to see for my business. Some of it will have some personal messages in there. The short-term stuff used to work in the past, but the long-term players are going to continue to eat up all the attention and deploy everything they want. In other words, you guys can't stop me from what I want to share. And I know a lot of us are concerned about compliance, right? Anyone have compliance concerns? Yeah. I came from an outfit that was big on compliance, which we all should be careful. But no one's going to stop you from posting a message that doesn't tie or correlate your company's logo or brand behind it. So in other words, you could still sell yourself without getting your company involved, right? Then later when they come and get attracted to you, you can introduce them to the company that you're with. Nothing's wrong with that. And your company can't tell you to take something down that you don't involve them. So you don't have to plug their logo and everything. What these are right here is these are all the social media pieces and icons of what's out there. So if some of us are just thinking it's Facebook, it used to be MySpace, right? Actually, before MySpace, it was Friendster. Some of you guys, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. I wasn't on Friendster. Then there was MySpace. Then there was Facebook. I mean, good thing it's not my face. No one got that. Too slow. The millennials got it. So these are all some of the social media pieces that we're using. So, am I good on time? I got 10 minutes. I got to rush through this. Is this too advanced or we're okay? Dan? So you want to create an employee-generated content engine. And how do you do that? You want to listen to your existing millennials. Identify your social superstars and learn their social habits. All of us have them in our operation. We're just not seeking and asking for their strengths. Get their input as you create strategy. Inspire and be inspired. These are some of our posts. I just want to share them with you. Encourage your employees or your agents, right? Your agents. We don't hire, we appoint. Wow, a lot of people don't get that. I like that. So that's what I'm used to. But these are some of our posts. Encourage them to repost and retweet. Maximize exposure using employee communication channels. Solicit content from internal groups using apps such as GroupMe, Slack, Flock. It's so funny. These are terms that you're like, why would I want a slacker? That's what it's called. We use something called Slack. It's okay to slack because now it's social media. Before, slacking was a negative connotation. We want to flock. You want to recruit? You want a flock of recruits, right? You flock. GroupMe, everyone's together. And the team makes these posts go viral. You got internal marketers that are willing to help you grow your business and grow your brand because they want to grow theirs. Give your potential recruits value. Something that benefits them from you to bring them talent that's going to benefit you. Start to think of every situation as a form of content to share, like Gamma. How many people have posted on the LAMP app so far? Take a look behind you guys. Look at that. Barely anybody. Maybe less than 10% of the hands went up. Take advantage of it. LAMP's giving it to us. We got to take advantage of it. The other is to look closer at your marketing spend. Let me explain. A lot of us haven't gotten engraved in social media because of the cost. We're worried or we don't know. That roller coaster ride that I referred to earlier, it's how you spend your money on marketing and sales. Most of us aren't investing in social media promoted ads. For example, for under 20 bucks, you can get your ad to be in front of 1,000 to 3,000 people. And those of you that live in more rural areas, it's even less expensive. You just got to go look up promoted ads. Google that. Google promoted ads. And out of 1,000 impressions or visuals on those posts, you'll get 10 to 15 people engage in them. You know what that's called? That's called a responder. How much do your responders cost? Ours are costing about 20 bucks for 10 to 15 responders. Crazy, right? Crazy. So those days of agents coming right 300 bucks for 20, 30 leads, 300 bucks will get you a whole month of a serious marketing campaign. Just be aware, though, that social media marketplaces, they're based on supply and demand. So just for example, think about how inexpensive Google AdWords were, if any of you guys remember that. Google AdWords are very expensive now. If you want to do pay-per-click campaigns, they're 5, 10, 20 bucks per click. They used to be 3, 20, 30 cents, maybe even less. Social media works the same way. So how do you attract millennials through social media? How do you attract them, right? First, you need to create the profile of the millennial candidate. How do you create the profile? I'll share that with you. Next, you need to plan. And by planning, I mean you got to get the internal buy-in. Third, you need to execute. You got to execute your recruiting campaign. And finally, you got to measure. You got to measure. And this is what I love. Most of us tell our downlines, you got to inspect what you expect, right? We've heard that before? So just as you apply yourself to social media, you got to measure your results. Creating the millennial candidate's profile. Does this profile look familiar to you? Let me just show you who it is real quick. So build the ideal millennial candidate profile. Research where millennials will fit into your organization. Survey current agents or employees that you can essentially ask for feedback on maybe what attracted them to your model and apply some of their feedback. You can use SurveyMonkey, something called JotForm, JotForm. It's free, JotForm. You create a questionnaire, email it to the team, and ask them some questions relevant to what attracted them to joining your business. Find out what companies or sources they came from. What skill set, fields of study, or years of experience do they have? Put a profile together of your ideal candidate, and then compare personality traits, hobbies, and other interests that they have in common, and then start to brand to those hashtags. So you're going to start to downsize and make this funnel of a specific targeted pool of candidates that you want. Identify and target exactly what you're looking for. Plan and get the internal buy-in. Here's another picture of our team. We just wrapped up a meeting. That's Mr. Matt Francina conducting it. And I think we're just clapping for the camera. So identify ambassadors and key stakeholders. Partner with your marketing team. The biggest disconnect is when the marketing team thinks that they're better than the sales team, and the sales team thinks that they're better than the marketing team. When you align these two together, no one can stop you. And it's the responsibility of whoever's running and building that organization at the very top that brings that significance together. And the difference between what I share with you today and what many of the speakers with tremendous experience and background have is that I'm a practitioner. I do what you do. I still produce because our agency isn't large enough for me to no longer produce. And I still recruit. That's what we do. You want to identify call to actions. So for example, what do you want your social recruiting strategy to do? What do you want them to do? What could it help you do? Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to click on applying for a position? Do you want them to fill out a questionnaire so you can learn more about them? Do you want to drive them to a briefing event? Whatever it is, they're called call to actions. And then choose which social sites to start on. You don't have to go on all of them at once. Pick one, master it, or engrave yourself in there, and then add a second one. It's just like we learned the insurance business. You start with maybe a health policy or med sup or a final expense, and then you graduate to a UL, larger dump-ins, more strategy, annuities, etc. Same with social media strategy. For the younger millennials, Instagram is the new Facebook. But Facebook has, last I checked, what was it, 1.6 billion users? 1.6 billion users on Facebook, billion. But Instagram right now is the fastest growing, active, engaged social media platform with an average monthly user of 800 million. Just 4 years ago, it was 400 million. That means it's doubled in 4 years. That's huge. And when the hands went up regarding Instagram in here, most people aren't on there yet. It's going to continue growing at that pace. I see social sites as I do real estate. So imagine buying a condo in downtown Manhattan 60 years ago and what it's worth today. We are right now at that 60-year mark when it comes to real estate and social media. This is where it's going. And if it wasn't for this, we would not be able to grow the way we're doing it. Execute a recruiting strategy. Create content themes. Build a posting schedule. Implement tools to help automate the work, such as Hootsuite or Sprout Social. Those are programs that you can pay for that will help you automate it. Throw some money in there and they'll throw posts up every so often. But make sure you're monitoring it. And then launch your campaign. Let me see if this is going. Let me see. Okay. So measure your results. Look for KPI, key performance indicators. Where's the source of the higher data? Wherever that source is, put more money spend in there. Make tweaks as you need to. Certain posts are going to drive more traffic to career pages, and some posts might drive more traffic to, for example, just to look at your website in general to learn about your company. It's expected and normal to keep refining and making tweaks. Use different social analytic tools to determine and measure the results. These are all different analytic tools you can buy or pay for. And I don't sell any of these. The strategies that you once applied to get to where you are in this room when it comes to recruiting, they're extraordinary. But please don't rely on what got you here, because what got you here is not going to help get you to the next level. So when it comes to recruiting through social media, it's important that we all check our egos at the door. It's no longer about your contract or the history of how long you've been in the business. That's what makes us vulnerable. What I'd like to do is the last thing is, Dan, if you don't mind, this last piece right here is, I want to take this moment for all of us to collectively post a live social media post and share it. And this is how we can make it go viral as a team. Okay? I'd like to do two. One, for those of you guys that want me to share it, if you put me in there and tag me, I'm going to share it and tag you in there back. so people will drive to your sites. Take another one where I'm out of the picture and use it for yourself. But this is the first post you can use to start recruiting. I'll tell you exactly what to write. Am I in there? Now's the time. I'll pretend. Okay, now let me get out of the way. So take a picture of this, and I'll tell you exactly what to write. You simply take a picture of this, put it into your Facebook or Instagram. Preferably, I would do Instagram. And write the words in your post, "We brought our team to LAMP 2018, and I hope you join us next year. Contact me to learn more." When all of us put that up there, you'll have no idea what countries this picture will travel through. And it could be your post today that lands in a country thousands of miles away on an island in Fiji. Why that island? I don't know. It's beautiful. But this is how it works. And this hashtag right here, Gammatize, with the support of everyone in here and the support of Gamma, we're going to Gammatize the industry. And we are the first creators in this room of this hashtag. Hashtags are encrypted forever. And it's starting today. Let's Gammatize the industry. You guys with me? You sure? You guys sleeping? So I want to go through a quick playback. Do I have time to show you guys a quick live demo, or we're done? Awesome. Bob says do it. Bob, thank you. Bob, the treasurer, by the way, a.k.a. he runs the deal. Thank you, sir. So let me go through a live demo. And let's see here. We're on there? Okay. That's our selfie. Here we are, if you guys want to see yourselves. Okay, that was quick. Here's a live demo of exactly what it is we do, okay? So we hit up Instagram. You guys did that? You open Instagram. Here's a picture. We load this picture. You can put it to Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want. You put in the hashtag LAMP18. Make it exciting. Put some exclamation marks. You tag some of your influencers. So, for example, the People's Advisor. That's Matthew's handle. We hashtag business. Hashtag Gamma International. We're going to hashtag Gammatize. Hashtag Sina Azari. I'm sorry. Sina, I'm sorry. And then you tag somebody. You can tag the location of where you're at. And then you post it. And I know that was a little fast. But we've all posted a picture of our breakfast, right? Same way. Same way. Welcome to the new era, everybody. This is what we call disruptive innovation. So let's connect on social, and let's win as an industry. I want to thank you for your time. And if you have any questions for me, feel free.